In today's video, we're talking about why you might want to consider printing your photographs. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to have a chat about something that I feel has gone a little bit out of style, and that is printing photographs. And I'm going to explain to you why you may want to consider printing photographs and the reasons why I print them. And I'll come at it from two different angles. So first of all, I want to talk about the personal ones, which is really kind of obvious, really why you might want to print your family photos. But then I want to talk about why you may want to print some of your commercial work, especially if you're looking to do more work in that area and you want to use some of these prints as part of your promotions. Okay, so let's talk about family photos. And I'm not really going to give you any earth-shattering new reason why you should print your photos. I think you all know why you should print family photos. But I think sometimes we get a little bit complacent because we shoot so many photos with our phones and it's just so easy to shoot that you end up with a collection of thousands and thousands of photos that just never get shown to anyone else because it's so difficult to go and find them when you're looking for them. You know, I've spent 20 minutes looking for a photo sometimes, and it's just irritating, and you sort of give up. So printing photos is a really good way to curate a collection of photos because you're not going to print every single photograph, right? You're only going to print the very best ones, and those prints, they make really good gifts. So that's another reason why you may want to start printing. If you give a print to somebody, then that's a very personal gift. So you're sharing a photograph of a moment or a person or something that means something to you, and hopefully it means something to that person. So often that's a really nice print. And those prints can then be hung around the house. They can really transform a home. And also it's a conversation starter when people come to your home. They see photographs. I've got photographs around my house that are over 50 years old, and it's just really nice to have those moments just around the house as well, reminding you about how that photograph came about. They're easier to find also because a lot of the times, even if you don't put them into a frame, what used to happen, and still does happen actually, is that you have a shoebox where you keep all your photographs. And so it's actually quite fun looking through some of those boxes. I know that I've got family photographs at my dad's that every once in a while I go over there and I look through them, and it's a really nice time going through those boxes because every photograph meant something. And again, because back then it was film, it was expensive, and so each photograph was something that you really wanted to take a picture of. You're not going to find any prints of my breakfast on there, for example. So, and I think that still continues today, even though we're printing digital. We're shooting in digital. The prints are still a little bit more difficult to produce, and they take a little bit of time and they cost more money. So naturally, you're only going to print the very best photographs that you have. We've got so many more options now than we did back then. I mean, back then we had the actual albums where you used to get the prints and slip the prints inside there. Now we've got things such as these. So these books are fantastic now for printing photographs. This is something that I give to my clients. Now I don't shoot a lot of family photography anymore, but I remember when I did, I used to produce books like this, and they're really, really good. The printing on this is excellent, and it will last for, I don't know how long it's guaranteed for, but it's something like 100 years, I think, with the inks that you can get out of some of the professional printers. And so things like this just make it a lot easier for us to print. Things like that, for example, you don't even have to leave your house. You can do the whole thing online, and it just gets sent to you. So I think when it comes to printing your family stuff, I think we know why we need to do it. They're our most precious moments, so you should keep them safe, and you should print them. And it also becomes a really good way to back up digital photos. I think everyone knows somebody, or it's happened to you, where you've upgraded your phone, or you've had a corruption on a hard drive on a computer, and you've lost all your photographs. It's happened to me, and I know loads of people that it's happened to. And at the end of the day, if you've got printed photographs, that is a physical object that you can just put away, and as long as you look after it, you're going to have a backup of all those photographs. Okay, so let's switch it around now and talk about professional photography and how printing can be part of your business, both in promoting business to be able to get new clients and also potentially as a product, something you might want to sell. So from a promotional point of view, what I do is, this is something that I do a lot. I print cards. This is just your standard, I think, 6x4 postcards. These are very inexpensive. And the way that I use them is I just have a promotional picture on the card, and then I've got some information in the back, usually with a call to action of some sort. These are quite old ones. They don't have the QR code that I put on the new ones. So on the new ones, I always have a QR code, and that is the call to action. People still, they're still a little bit curious when it comes to QR codes. So if they see one, they normally want to know what it's about. So it's a really good way to get people to a particular part of your website where you want them to sign up, or or book a session or whatever. But these don't take, they don't cost a lot of money. And but I will say that the success rate of getting a job from these, it is quite low, but it's still worth it because you can get a packet of about 250 of these cards for maybe $40, $30. And I think on average, a 250 box, I probably get around 2 or 3 jobs out of that. So although percentage-wise, it doesn't seem like it's really a really good return, from a money perspective, it is, because it only cost me $40 to produce the cards, and you can easily make that money back in one session, plus your profit as well. So this is something that I would recommend to you. But again, don't forget to put the barcode on the back and just put your information in there. But don't be surprised if this ends up in the bin. 99% of the time, when I give these away, they will just get thrown away straight away. A final tip on these, I usually use these sometime 4 to 6 weeks before yearly reports come out, or in whatever country you're in. In Australia, it's around the end of the financial year. So 4 to 6 weeks before that happens, that's when I do promotion, or all of my promotion with these cards, because that's when you're going to get the best hit, because they are preparing at that point to get the photography for those yearly reports. For some reason, those photographs always seem to be the last thing. Everyone forgets about the photograph, and it's the last thing, the last consideration. And so when you give them the card, the idea is that you're looking for someone that is looking for a photographer right now. So when you come in with your card, they'd be like, oh, that's perfect. I was looking for a photographer. So you're trying to maximize or pick the best time possible. And so cards, give them a go. Okay, so the second thing, and this is probably what I wanted to talk to you about the most, because I think it's the most interesting thing, is a portfolio. Now, this is a printed portfolio, and be aware that when people talk about their portfolios these days and they're showing them to an art director or prospective client, they 99% of the time they are going to pull out an iPad or some sort of tablet or a laptop, and they're going to go through some images on a screen. So knowing that, if you want to break that pattern, do an interrupt to that pattern, and just come out with something that they're not expecting, something like this may work for you. I've been using this one for ages, and it just works really well for me. So I thought I'd show it to you. It comes in a nice case, but this is my book. And a lot of people don't use these for some reason. I'm not sure. I think they just consider them to be an old-fashioned thing. But trust me, these things are really effective because no one is expecting these. They're expecting you to pull out some sort of electronic device. So when you pull this out, then they are really surprised. And the thing about these books, and it doesn't matter which one you use, this is just one that I had made a while back. It's leather, it feels nice, and it's quite heavy. So it feels like a quality product already. But as long as you've got something that you can, show off your images, something nice to hold, then it doesn't matter what kind of portfolio you use. The ones that I use these are A3 prints, and I use them in the sleeve. And I will turn this around so you can have a look. Hopefully you can see that. But this is what the book looks like. And it's just a nicer way to consume this sort of content. With an iPad or or any sort of tablet, you're sort of just flicking images, and it's so easy to flick that it's easy for the viewer to miss something in the photograph. Whereas with a nice big photograph, and because this is a lot larger than an iPad, this is an A3 size, then it forces them to sort of look at the photograph, and also it's sort of more of an effort to turn a page. And so for myself, I prefer these. I know that the people that I show this to, they also prefer these as well. And it's just a nicer way. I think it's a nicer way to consume images. And the other thing that I like about this, and I'm not going to go through the rest of it, but you sort of get the idea. But one of the things that I really like about this sort of setup, and let me just explain. So you can get another type of portfolio where you're printing on the page, much like this family photography one that I showed you earlier. So that's actually printed on the page. So that is a permanent thing. You can't change that. You have to print a new book if you update your images. With these ones here, because I print all of my own images, I use an Epson 3880, just in case you're interested. And if you guys want me to do a video about printing, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do a video about that. But I print these on Canson paper, which is a French art paper. It's exhibition standard. And it's just a really nice paper to hold as well. It's not a glossy paper. It is what they call a rag paper, and it just produces colors really, really nicely. But when they're going through the portfolio, they may come across some images. For example, they'll come across an image that really gets their attention, and quite often, because they can pull the image out if they really like that photograph, and I think that there's a chance that I could potentially work with this person. Then for me, it's nothing to be able to just take that photograph and just leave it with them. It's something that they keep. And so it's really nice to be able to do that. I can just pull that image straight out of the sleeve, okay? And I can just give it to them. The other thing is also it allows me to update the book very, very quickly. I can have these prints stored somewhere separately, and then when I'm meeting someone about commercial work, or so let's say that I'm meeting someone about product photography, then I can just load up the portfolio with just product photographs, so that they're not looking at stuff that's irrelevant to them. So that is why I think printing still has a place in today's photography scene, even though we are still, we're doing everything digitally. I think when you come up with something, when you come out with something like this to someone that's not expecting it, I think it's a really nice nostalgic way to look at photographs, but also it's something different. And again, you want to stand out because there's so many people that are doing photography these days that you really have to do something different in order to be able to get noticed. So that is why I still use a printed portfolio. I still have my iPad. There's times where the iPad is, that's what you have at that time. And so I've got a portfolio in there as well. But if I get the choice, I will always bring my printed portfolio. Okay, so something else that I just realized I didn't tell you was that if you are going to put a book like this one together, make sure that you've got some permanent labeling on the book itself. You want to make sure that they know that this is your book. You'd be surprised how many people do this. They leave a book and then there's no way to find out who the book belongs to. So in my case, I've got my name. I don't know if you can see that. It's embossed to the front cover, just in there. Okay, so they'll know that that is my book. So then when you leave it at an art director's office, because then they want to go through it at their own pace, then they'll know that it's your book. And if they like your work and they want to hire you, then they know that it's you and they can get in contact with you. But you'd be surprised how many books get dropped off at art directors' offices with no labeling whatsoever. Okay, so that's everything I wanted to talk to you about. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. That's probably the best place to get in touch with me. Otherwise, you can reach me through any of the usual social media platforms. You're gonna find all the links in the description below. And guys, if you like this video, please, 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 can I ask you for a favor and hit the like button? It makes a massive difference to me and to the channel. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as possible. So if you hit the like button, And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. I make videos like this every week to help you with your photography. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those, hit the subscribe button. There's a little notification bell next to that. Click that as well. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you don't know about ministryofphoto.com, make sure you check it out. That's my site where I share reviews. I've got articles, I've got instructional videos, all sorts of things. I've even got some freebies in there as well that you can download, things like Lightroom presets. It's completely free, so make sure you check it out, ministryofphoto.com. Okay, so that's everything I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please, again, don't forget to like the video. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.